It's not just the amount of capital, it's the velocity. I ran the numbers this morning, and the burn rate versus the fundraising cadence is accelerating.
It's the only way to pay for the hardware, and it's why everyone is suddenly racing for the public markets.
I'm Milo.
I'm Mila.
And this is AI Daily.
Coming up, while everyone was watching the chatbots, AI started getting physical. We'll talk about the quiet race to get models out of the data center and into trucks and factories.
But first, the starting gun for the AI IPO race has officially been fired. Anthropic, the company behind the Claude family of models, announced yesterday that it has confidentially filed paperwork for an initial public offering.
Confidential filing is standard practice for a company this size. It lets them get their financials reviewed by the SEC before the big public reveal. But make no mistake, this move puts them squarely in a race with OpenAI, which is also widely expected to go public soon.
And the numbers are staggering. Their last funding round in May reportedly valued the company at over $900 billion. They're positioning themselves as a major player, not just in model performance, but as a publicly traded entity that investors can buy into directly.
Which raises the big question, is the public market ready for this? We're talking about companies with massive computational costs, uncertain long-term revenue models, and technology that is still evolving at a dizzying pace. This isn't a software-as-a-service company with predictable margins.
I think you're underestimating the investor appetite. The demand for pure-play AI investments is enormous. Look at Nvidia. Anthropic is betting that investors want direct exposure to a foundational model company, and they want to be the first big one out of the gate. My projections on their cash flow are running hot.
I read the market differently. I think this puts immense pressure on governance. Once you have the quarterly pressures of the stock market, does that change how you approach safety and alignment research? Anthropic has built its brand on being the more safety-conscious lab. That's a hard message to square with a stock ticker.
The filing itself is a signal of confidence. They believe their financials and their governance story are strong enough for public scrutiny. They wouldn't file otherwise.
Confidence or necessity? The capital required to train next-generation models is astronomical. An IPO is one of the few ways to secure that kind of funding. This is as much about the compute race as it is about the market race. While Anthropic plans its public debut, its rivals are pushing deeper into critical private industries. OpenAI is expanding access to GPT-5.5 Cyber, its specialized cybersecurity model, to 9 major banks in the United Kingdom.
This is significant. We're talking about institutions like HSBC and Lloyd's Banking Group getting access to a tool specifically designed to find and analyze security vulnerabilities in their code. It's a major vote of confidence in using AI for defensive cyber operations in a highly regulated sector.
And it highlights a philosophical split in the industry. The UK's AI Security Institute recently found that GPT-5.5 Cyber and Anthropic's own security model, Claude Mythos, had similar performance levels. Yet while OpenAI is deploying its tool, Anthropic is keeping Mythos under much tighter control, arguing it requires more safeguards.
It's the classic deployment dilemma. How do you get the benefits of a powerful tool into the hands of defenders who need it, while minimizing the risk of it being misused or its capabilities being reverse engineered by attackers? OpenAI is clearly taking a more aggressive stance.
The banks seem to want it. They're dealing with incredibly complex legacy systems, and the potential for an AI to spot a vulnerability that a human team might miss is a powerful incentive. The question is, what happens when these tools become a standard part of the security stack?
It becomes an arms race, but a defensive one. Your security AI against an attacker's exploit writing AI. The goal for the banks is to have the AI find the hole in the wall before the bad actors do.
It also creates a new kind of dependency. These banks are now relying on a model from a third-party lab for a core part of their infrastructure security. That's a new frontier for both risk management and regulatory oversight.
Okay, so we have the race to the stock market and the race into the banks. But our third story today is about a race that's happening in a completely different domain, the physical world.
Exactly. While most of the headlines focus on digital assistants and chatbots, billions of dollars are flowing into what's being called physical AI, systems that operate in the real world. A prime example is the autonomous vehicle company Waabi, which just raised $1 billion in a new funding round.
Waabi started with a focus on self-driving trucks, but this new funding, which includes a major investment from Uber, is aimed at expanding their physical AI platform into robotaxis. Their whole premise is that a single AI system can be generalized to operate different kinds of vehicles in the real world.
And it's not just Waabi. In Europe, the French AI company Mistral just announced major partnerships with Airbus and BMW. They're building an industrial AI stack to help with everything from aircraft design and parts simulation to optimizing factory floor operations.
This feels like a significant and maybe underreported trend. The technical challenges are immense. An AI driving a truck or optimizing a robotic arm on an assembly line doesn't get to fail gracefully. The cost of an error is kinetic. It's not about generating a weird sentence, it's about physics.
Which is why the aha moment here isn't just about self-driving cars finally happening. It's that major industrial players are now betting that AI is mature enough to tackle high-stakes physical processes. Airbus isn't just using Mistral for paperwork, they're using it for engineering and design cycles.
It's the ultimate edge computing scenario. You can't have a round trip to the cloud when you're deciding whether to apply the brakes on a 40-ton truck. The reasoning has to happen on the vehicle. That's a massive hardware and software challenge.
And it's a different kind of value proposition. The ROI isn't measured in user engagement, but in fuel efficiency, manufacturing speed, and supply chain resilience. It's a quieter, more industrial AI revolution happening in parallel to the consumer one we all see.
Also in AI today,
Nvidia is officially entering the PC market. The company unveiled a new RTX Spark superchip that will be the main processor in new laptops and desktops from Dell and Microsoft later this year, taking direct aim at Intel and AMD.
the state of Florida is suing OpenAI and its CEO Sam Altman. The lawsuit alleges the company concealed serious safety risks and aggressively marketed ChatGPT to the public, particularly to minors, without adequate safeguards.
And researchers at Monash University in Australia have created a new chip that uses light instead of electricity to process information. The breakthrough could lead to dramatically faster and more energy-efficient computing for AI applications.
So, public markets, physical trucks, and now personal computers. The footprint of this technology is getting bigger by the day.
The question is whether our understanding of it is keeping pace.
Question for tomorrow.